Hey guys, it's Colin here from Sparing Outdoors, and this little upload's slightly different to what I normally do. And it's a little series I want to put together to help people who are, I suppose, starting to get into the outdoors. So it's a little series to help beginners and novices get into the outdoors and explore what they're going to enjoy in the outdoors. And the reason why I want to do this video, I've been itching to do this video or upload for quite some time now, and I thought, this is the time to actually go and do it. I suppose over the last 10 years, social media has really promoted the outdoors in such a great light. You've Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. There's guys going around, they're taking wonderful pictures of fantastic activities in the outdoors, some stunning mountain views, valleys, the rivers, whatever, and people are sitting looking at these images going, wow, these are breathtaking, and they want a bit of the outdoors and go and explore these places, which is great. Love seeing people get into the outdoors, and social media has really promoted that over the last 10 years, and especially Instagram with some of the cracking photos that you see has really promoted that. And so is YouTube, and so is Facebook, and all the rest of the social media sites. And then the other thing is sort of speeded up everybody's, I suppose, wanting to get out and go into the outdoors has been COVID. Since COVID landed in the pandemic, people are very restricted to what they can do, but one of the things they could do is go out and explore their local areas and get into the outdoors, and safe distances and all that, and the outdoors was one of the best places to do that. So it's really then accelerated another stage where people really want to get into the outdoors. And I suppose if you're talking, I've been in the outdoors a long time now. And I suppose even 10 years ago, when I was taking the scouts out hiking or camping or taking groups of Jukaveds or Gashkas out onto the mountain, or even just going solo myself, in my own parish here in particular, which is the Sperrins, and it's a fairly isolated part. It's not like the Mourns where you've got lots of people going all the time. The Sperrins was very quiet, usually always was very quiet. But 10 years ago, there was places within my own parish I could have went any time of the day and we wouldn't have met anybody anywhere in the outdoors. Now there's some places in the parish that have been highlighted via social media and other platforms that are on the internet and things that promote certain areas. So I suppose certain areas that are of outstanding beauty, let's say, and promote people to go there. Now there's sometimes you have to go really early in the morning, because if you don't go early in the morning, some of these places are just fully loaded with cars. Car parks are full. Some of the places don't have car parks and they're parked away down the road, and they're actually literally teeming with people, which is fantastic because people are getting into the outdoors. But this is where the problem lies. So you have all these guys and people who really want to get into the outdoors, and they see all these pages that they're following and like, I want to go there, and they just go. So they're not educating themselves in the outdoors what they need to do. And this is what I hopefully will do with my little upload in the series that I'm going to do. There's going to be 5 or 6 videos helping people to get into the outdoors. So even lately, a couple of places I myself haven't been doing anything overly serious over the last 3 years in the outdoors. I've sort of slowed down a little bit, and the reason for that is a new baby, new business, built a house and stuff. So I've since I actually started YouTube, I've actually slowed down in the outdoors from what I was. I was out in the outdoors nearly every weekend with scouts and the wife, and expeditions and canoeing and stuff. And I've actually slowed down since I've started the YouTube channel. But hopefully we'll get back to that. But even when I have been out over the last 3 years, I've been going, I suppose, just out on a walk, go up a mountain with the wife for a QMD, Quality Mountain Day. And you'll see all these guys walking by you, and you're looking, you know what? They're just not prepared for a hill walk or prepared for the outdoors from just by looking at them, from what they're wearing. And even when I'm going on for a wee paddle down the river and I see a guy just jumping into a kayak and going paddling for the first time down the river, and you're going, oh my god, these guys really are not prepared for this. And this is where then people that aren't prepared for this, they get caught out and they find themselves in a lot of bother. So I'm hoping that my little uploads here will actually give you good, sound, solid advice that will help you have a great experience in the outdoors and keep you safe in the outdoors and keep others safe in the outdoors and actually look after the outdoors as well. Because there's other I suppose platforms. The good thing about social media, promotes all these wonderful places, and there's lots of guys on it and lots of different companies and that promoting the outdoors. But there's lots of guys on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram that are actually giving really horrible, terrible, unsafe advice, dangerous advice to people on how to use the outdoors. And it's probably a few things. They're probably not trained in the outdoors themselves. They're probably novices, sort of winging it, and things like that. They're probably just not fully rehearsed in the outdoors as they should be. They maybe have a good idea of the outdoors, but they're not fully, I suppose, rehearsed in proper outdoor leadership and things like that. And they're giving people bad advice. But the scary thing about that, a lot of these folks and channels and that have lots and lots and lots and maybe thousands of followers. So someone who's a complete novice coming and saying, no, this guy's 20,000 followers, he must know what he's doing in the outdoors, I'm going to follow him on what he does. And they take that as Bible. But, a lot of it's really dangerous advice. So I'm hoping to give good, sound, practical, safe advice to people who are beginning their outdoor adventures for the first time. So, and I really aim in these wee series at beginners and novices who want to get into the outdoors and want to do it safely and correctly. And this is what my uploads are going to be about. Now, and the reason why I think I'm in good stead to give people advice is because I am now 36 years old and I have a vast knowledge and being in the outdoors. I grew up, both my grandparents on each side of the family, my mother's family and my father's family, both had farms. And I grew up in the farms, out there at the weekends and evenings, helping out in the farms, maybe more so causing havoc in the farms, but I was always outdoors. And it really got me a love for the outdoors, whether it was on the mountain, in the farm, or in the forest and things like that. And it really got me a love for being in the outdoors. And then in 1994, my father was one of the guys who helped start the Scouts in Draperstown. And I've been in the Scouts since 1994 right now, and I'm still a leader there. And it's opened the good thing about Scouting is it opens lots of doors into lots of outdoor activities. So you're doing lots of various activities within Scouting, and it opens lots more doors for you. I've worked in outdoor centres myself as well. I've got my mountain leaderships. I've got open boat and I suppose kayak BCU instructor awards. I've got my outdoor first aids, lots of bushcrafts. I dabble a bit of climbing, do coast air and gorge walking, whatever. I do lots and lots of outdoor activities, and I take lots of groups out over the years into wild places and just train youngsters and take all our adults and things out. So I'm pretty well rehearsed in the outdoors, and I'm pretty safe and pretty competent at what I do. And so that's why I think I can give good sound advice in comparison to some other sites and pages and things that are really not giving good advice. It's literally people winging it. The other thing is I follow a lot of pages, the likes of their body over here for mountaineering, hillwalking and climbing is Mountaineering Ireland. And I follow them, and I follow the British equivalent, which is the BMC. And I follow them, and I also keep an eye on, the mountain rescue pages and local areas and that too. And even now, in the last few years, you've seen there's a lot more rescues happening now than what there would have been. And again, it's probably because of social media. The mountain rescue guy said himself, a lot of people are just going out to try and get that perfect pic to put on social media, and they're not prepared, and they're getting caught out. And too many people have this whole perception that just get a rain jacket and a pair of boots, you can go into the outdoors any way you want, and thinking, I'm going to be safe. It's just not that simple. You need to get a wee bit of knowledge behind you, and I suppose then go for the outdoors. And that's what my videos are going to be. So I'm going to tell you my topics, what they're going to be now, and then we'll take it from there. I'll try and do once a month. I'll try and keep them around 10 minutes long. This is just a little introduction video that's probably running over 10 minutes, but we'll go through the topics, and I'll try and do one a month, and we'll just hopefully educate each other and get things out. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them in my comments. So the first topic I'm going to do is going to be navigation. Now I have little navigation videos in my channel. I will do a few more. I've planned to do a few more, but again, it's just trying to get time. Lots of things have happened for me in the last 3 years. Opened a new store, built a house, got a kid, got married, and my outdoor life has actually slowed down a lot from what it used to be. I used to be really active 3 or 4 years ago when I had sort of no ties and we were always out doing mad expeditions, me and the wife, and doing a lot of mad camping with the scouts and things like that. Just crazy, just nearly out every weekend, and it slowed way down now. Life's caught up with me, had a family, whatever. But the first topic we're going to talk about is navigation. And as I said, I want to do more of these little videos to help guys with their navigational skills and do a little more pointers and things. And I will do them in the future. But the thing about navigation is there's a technique. There's the traditional technique, which is the map and compass, and the new technique, which seems to be the GPS systems and apps on your phones and tablets and things like that. And we're going to talk about them, the pros and cons of them, and how you probably should use both of them together. Again, I'm a traditionalist and I love the map and compass, but by no means I'm not knocking technology whatsoever. But we have to be careful of technology as well. But that's one of the topics we're going to talk about. The traditional technique versus the new technique, which is the GPS and apps. And we'll go through the pros and cons of both, and I'll try and give a balanced reasoning for which one's better and how to use the two of them with each other and things like that. The next topic we're going to talk about will be outdoor clothing. Now, outdoor clothing is really, really important. What you're wearing and how you use it is really important. Again, there's too many people going out there with the wrong gear onto the hills and down the rivers and paddling and bushcraft, just not using the right gear, which in turn creates lots of problems. It actually causes some safety problems for their own concern, for their own well-being. Gives them, sometimes if they're wearing the wrong gear, it gives you a terrible experience and it puts you off the outdoors. But if you use the right clothing in the right situations, you'll obviously have a far better time in the outdoors and a more pleasurable experience. But we're going to go talk about that and how the right and wrong clothing really affects your outdoor experience, and it can change from being a really good experience to one that's been terrible and actually get really dangerous. So that's one of our next topics that we'll talk about. The next topic that we'll probably talk about will be the gear that you bring with you into the outdoors. So this is like your safety gear. And there is a core list that you bring with you all the time you go into the outdoors. That core list will change depending on the activity and how long you're going for. So you'll have a core list that will be for your day sack and day activities and things like that. And it'll probably cover most outdoor activities. That'll slightly change on activities, but it'll definitely change if you're going to make it an expedition and stay out for a few nights. That gear list will expand slightly to make it a safe time for you outdoors, that you have all the correct gears, that your safety is paramount. And again, the problem with people who bring the right gear, there's no point bringing all the right gear if you don't know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, you may as well not bring it. So we'll go through all that there aspect of the outdoor gear safety list, or whatever you want to call it. There's a kit list for the outdoors, and we'll go through it. That's another topic, and we'll expand on them a little bit as well. One of the next topics that I actually want to talk about is probably part of your gear list anyway, but it's a separate thing that I think needs to be talked about on its own. And that is first aid and first aid kits. There's lots of people who you see in the outdoors, they carry these really, really elaborate first aid kits. It's nearly like a mini ambulance, they're massive. They are completely useless if you have no idea how to use it. It's like having an aeroplane but you can't fly it. There's no point bringing it if you can't use it. The only person that would be any use to is someone who actually comes across you and knows how to use it. So one of the things we're going to talk about is there's no point carrying a first aid kit if you don't know how to use it, because it's just been made redundant. So we're going to talk about how to carry, what sort of first aid kit to carry, and how to use it, because so many people carry for it. I've got a first aid kit in my bag, I'm safe, I'll be grand, but they haven't a clue about first aid. So It doesn't really make sense unless somebody stumbles across them who knows first aid and helps them with their first aid. So we'll talk about first aid and first aid kits, which is really important, and it'll be a separate topic. And I suppose one of the last topics, this is a really important one. This is more about the environment that you're in, and this is the leave no trace. I detest seeing rubbish in the outdoors. I really, really hate it. I detest seeing people using the outdoors in the wrong way. Not just rubbish, there's a lot more principles to leave no trace than just we're talking about litter and stuff. It's how people use the outdoors as well. And we're going to go through the leave no trace principles and expanding them to educate people on how to use the outdoors properly and try and keep the outdoors a pristine place to be in and trying to minimise our impact in the outdoors as best we can. And we'll talk about that, and that will probably be another topic. These are the main topics that I want to talk about in the outdoors, and this will hopefully help everybody have a really good time in the outdoors, keep people safe, gets them educated, keeps other people safe as well, and leads to people having a really good outdoor experience. Well, that's it, guys. This is a very long-winded introduction video, but it's purely I want to try and educate people in the outdoors that they're going to have a really good time, that they're going to treat the outdoors with respect, that they're going to be safe, and they're going to keep others safe. And it will hopefully, if you go by the advice I'm going to give you, and it will hopefully be good sound advice from my years of experience and courses that I've been on over the years, that will keep you safe, keep other people safe, and look after the environment as you're enjoying it. It will give you a far more pleasurable experience, and it'll keep you wanting to keep coming into the outdoors and keep going back for more of the same in the outdoors. And if you have any comments or any questions you want to ask me, please leave them in the comments, and I will get back to you as fast as I can. Usually takes me about within a week to reply back to comments. And there's no questions that are too daft or too stupid. Ask any questions you like and I'll answer them. If you don't ask questions, you're never going to know, and I'll answer them for you. And keep an eye on the topics that I'm going to do, and we can all have a wee debate in the comments. Maybe not, hopefully won't be a debate, because hopefully it's just going to be a question, but there will be a debate about certain things, and don't mind people having a good healthy debate as long as it makes sense, and we'll keep it not being nasty. But this is all about trying to give people who are new to the outdoors good sound advice. Again, apologise for the big long-winded video, but this is a really important subject to me, and 10 or 15 minutes here of watching this video should hopefully give you an insight on how to get into the outdoors properly and safely. And it's, in my opinion, 10-15 minutes well spent, and the rest of my topics won't be any more than 10 minutes. This will probably be the longest one possibly. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll get the first topic up soon, which will be navigation.